It's a very special episode, and it's an absolutely gorgeous day, and I'm at the home of Shannon Mann. Yes, she's the lady behind all the amazing hairstyling that she's done with PinkOrchidStudio, and Harp Sohal is here as well, and yes, they are the dynamic duo known for the makeup and the hair that they have done. They are based out of Vancouver. They started doing this as of 2008, yes, known as the Dream Team. They have done amazing jobs when it comes to international clients, when it comes to Vancouver-based clients, when it comes to in the fashion industry, and they have their own product line. They've got a team of bridal stylists, and they also have an academy when it comes to teaching the art of makeup, and I am going to be their model for the day. So I can't wait for this very special episode, and I can't wait for you to say hello to them. So let's get started. So Harp, you are going to get started with me. What's step number one?
Step number one is having flawless skin and hydrated and moisturized skin. So I always suggest when you're in a rush, the first thing you should do is take any moisturizer that you have. It could be your household daily moisturizer. I'm using Amberlease, and I suggest you do 1 part moisturizer and 1 part foundation. Mix them together and apply it on your face. That way you're getting hydrated and you're getting a bit of a coverage, and you kind of made your own tinted moisturizer.
Ah, okay. And is it important that there's some SPF in there?
It is important if there's SPF in there. I mean, most of the foundations already have SPF,
right,
so that kind of does the job for you, but I always recommend using moisturizer that does have a little bit of SPF. And now I am applying this with a beauty blender. However, at home, you could just mix it together and apply it with your fingers all over your face. I would suggest when you're doing this, a beauty blender it gets the job done, because it's doing is it's pushing the product into the fine lines, it's pushing it into the little pores that you have, and it's really blending the product in with the skin, whereas a brush sometimes could leave brush strokes. So step number 2, I think, is the most important, and basically it is addressing the dark circles under our eyes. Now, us South Asian women, we unfortunately do have a little bit of darkness under the eye or around the mouth, and I think it's really important to get rid of that, have a smooth canvas, and the best thing to use is concealer. So it doesn't really matter what concealer you use, as long as it has full coverage. So I'm going to use shade medium on you. I'm just going to grab an applicator here, and you don't need a whole lot. I suggest just doing a couple of dots underneath the eyes, and anywhere else you need color correcting. So like maybe around the mouth, if you have some blemishes you want to get rid of, but not a whole lot. The trick is a little bit goes a long way. Take your same blender and blend that into the surrounding skin with the foundation. Perfect. Now once you're done that, we just want to set our concealer and foundation with the light dusting of powder. You could use Mineralized Skin Finish by MAC. You could use any kind of loose powder. You could even use a baking powder if you want, and set your foundation and concealer lightly all over the face. So just a good dusting. I'm going to use Mineralized Skin Finish by MAC. I love it. It's a sheer powder, which kind of gives you a little bit of coverage it has a little bit of reflective, like I want to almost say like a little bit of highlight in there.
Right, so I was just going to say a bit of a shimmer.
A little bit of a shimmer, so it's not super matte. Yep, and just like that.
So now step 1 and step 2 are done. The tinted moisturizer and the concealer all set in. Step number 3.
Let's bring the focus back onto the eyes. The eyes, I think, are the most important focal point of your face. So
right,
the best thing to do, especially if you don't know how to do a good wingtip liner, is just do black in the waterline. Now I have 2 pencils here. I have a brown color and a black color, and it all depends on the mood that you have. If it's a daytime look, I would suggest using a dark brown in the waterline, so it's not so severe and harsh. If you know after work you're going to be going out to a party, maybe just do black. That way your makeup lasts throughout the entire day. It goes from morning to night. It's a great transitional color. So I'm going to do black for you. So
right,
we're going to use black in the waterline. And all you have to do is look up, chin down, eyes up, pull down on your waterline, and just line your waterline like that. And I'm using Black Caviar by PinkOrchidStudio. It's a gel liner, so as you can see, it goes smoothly in the waterline, and it's one application. It's smear proof, smudge proof, it lasts all day.
Great.
Now at home, if you have a difficult time doing that, I'm gonna give you guys a trick. What you do is you hold your pencil in your eye, close your eyes, and you just go back and forth, and now it's lined the top of your eye, did your tight line, and plus your water line. So take a look. There you go. So now you've done your tight line and water line. Look up, close your eyes. Boom. Perfect. Done.
So very Cleopatra.
Yeah, very. And now you just got to add some mascara.
Okay.
My trick for adding mascara, I think you should always curl your lashes before you add mascara. So use any brand of lash curler that you want. I am going to be using our lash curler here. You just want to get in there. Give it a good pump. Perfect. Do you see the difference? That lash is curled. This lash is not, and that will just, now when you put on mascara, it's gonna really ensure that your lashes look lifted and curled.
So take it up a few notches?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, why not? There you go.
You know, interesting, all these little things that she's talking about that we forget that we've probably even sometimes done in the past. I remember for my high school graduation, I did curl my lashes on my own, and I thought, you know, what a great way and what a great discovery on my own that I've done, and now the makeup artist talks about it so many years later.
And, it's something that takes such little time but makes such a big impact, so why not do it?
Right.
So I'm just going to use a waterproof mascara. I'm using Luminous by L'Oreal. It's one of my favorites, and it's long lasting, and it's waterproof. And the reason I use waterproof is because I feel like with waterproof, no matter how long your day is, and especially since we're like running around, sometimes mascara could kind of drag underneath the eyes and leave like a little bit of a smudged look.
Right.
With waterproof mascara, that won't happen. So it'll last all day, and also waterproof mascara, it helps ensure that your lashes stay curled. So once we curled your lashes, if we use a waterproof mascara, it's gonna hold that curl in place.
Okay. And no clumping?
No clumping.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and add a quick coat. Okay, so now that we're done the face and the eyes, we just gotta do the finishing touches, which is basically adding a little bit warmth back onto your face by giving you a good bronzer, and maybe even putting a brow gel on to really groom your eyebrows back into place. So brows, super easy. You have great brows, by the way. You don't need a lot of help. So I'm just gonna use a brow gel, which is a tint, it's like a brow mascara, which is colored brown. So it just basically adds a little bit of tint to your brows, and also hold your brow hairs in place by grooming them. Super easy, super fast, anyone can do it, and it's foolproof. That's what I love about these brow gels.
And where can people get these?
You could get it at Sephora, at Shoppers Drug Mart.
Oh, wow.
Every brand has its own variation of brow gels, and this one is by Benefit, and I got this one at Sephora.
And it's a good investment.
It's a great investment.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So now once we're done that, we're quickly gonna give you a little bit of a highlight around your face.
So what's the difference between a highlighter and a bronzer?
Highlighter is something that highlights your face, so you would only apply that at the apples of your cheek right above. And a bronzer is something that brings, you apply at the hollows of your face, so somewhere you want to look sun-kissed. So now we want to give you that sun-kissed glow, and the best way to do that is by using a bronzer. One of my favorite bronzers to use is by Vasanti, and this one's called Brazilian Tan. You could get it at Shoppers Drug Mart, and I'm just going to quickly go around the perimeter of your face. Not too much. So basically, we're gonna contour at the same time as well as bronze. We're just gonna do a quick 3 around the face. The great thing about this bronzer, it's not super shimmery, so it's not gonna give you that shimmery appearance. It's it's like a matte bronzer. You're looking alive again. We're gonna just add a little bit of blush. Now you could use a colored blush, or you could even use the bronzer on your cheeks. I'm gonna use this pink blush by Vasanti once again.
I love hearing that, Vasanti.
Vasanti. Just to give you a little bit of color, and you're done. So now the only thing left to do, if you want to, is you could highlight your face. Vasanti has a great highlighter as well. You don't need to do this step. If you feel like you want to, you can, but it just kind of gives you a little bit of a shimmer. Just a little bit of twinkle, a little extra something for yourself. And then your lips. You could use chapstick, you could use a clear gloss, anything you want. Today
Even chapstick. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
I use
chapstick.
Chapstick on a daily.
Wow.
So I'm just gonna use like a pink gloss. This one is our pink. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're not lining it, we're just doing something quick and just go perfect. So I got sun nudes on the lips there and voila, you're done. And that didn't take any time at all, and I think you look beautiful. Well, you are very beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Didn't take much work, but
Well, I can't wait to see what I look like. So this is really exciting.
yes, and the great thing about this makeup,
Yeah.
guys, you could easily just put on a red lip like I have, because I have the exact same makeup
Right.
as you on today. You just put on a red lip and you go from daytime to evening time.
That's amazing. Thanks so much, Harp.
You're very welcome.
I can't wait to get Shannon to do my hair, put this all hair and makeup together, and really just see how Pink Orchid creates makeup. I know they've helped so many people out, so this is so exciting. Hey Shannon, how are you?
Hi Ish, how are you?
I'm doing great. I love your hair. Just look at the hair, the texture, the glow. It's awesome.
Each of us has
Right.
different texture of hair.
Right.
So your hair is very similar to mine.
Right.
You've got some color,
Yeah.
you've got some dryness, you also have some natural curl
Curls.
that we want to tame. So the number one concern that we have usually with South Asian hair is we find frizz.
Right.
So the question is, how do you tame the wave and add condition and shine back in our hair? So there's a couple products that I cannot live without that I'm going to recommend for you. Number one is going to be Frizz Dismiss. So this is by Redken. This is basically like a smoothing cream. It has a little bit of weight to it and it brings your curls together, and it's really nice on the ends of your hair to bring the curls together. So when you're out of the shower is usually when I put a little bit in, I would say half a dime.
Oh, just a
size.
dime, eh?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
And another thing, guys, if you want your hairstyles to last and not really get weighed down, you don't want to use a lot of this at the root. You want to really concentrate this on the ends. That's where we need that control, right? We do not need it up at the top, just at the ends. Also, if you want to add more shine as well, I also love this spray. I cannot live without it. This is the Babyliss Pro Argan Oils Shine Spray. So it's a really beautiful smelling spray, and it's going to add shine back to our hair, especially hair that has been damaged with coloring and styling and processing. It's going to give us life again. So you can see that smells beautiful. And I'm just going to use my fingers and just work the product through your hair. Now with curly hair, if you put these products in before you go to bed at night and give yourself a little bit of a scrunch, you should wake up with curls that are a little bit more together. Now this morning you washed your hair, the ends need a little bit more definition, so I'm going to show you a quick way of using a great hair tool, which is the Ashi curling iron, and this is actually a product that is a labor of love because it is something that we collaborated with Ashi Beauty to create this curling iron.
Great.
So I know a lot of people think it takes a lot of time, but it only takes a few minutes.
Okay.
We're gonna use an Ashi. This is a 1-inch curling iron.
Okay.
And it's really important, especially for South Asians, that we get something that heats up to 430 degrees.
Okay.
So that's really hot, but our hair, it can handle the damage, I tell you.
Okay, great.
So we're gonna run the curling iron through, and we're gonna use it as, and I find a lot of people are using wands, and wands are not good for Indian hair. We need the clamp side of the hair, of the curling iron, to smooth that hair out. So curling iron, the wands themselves only heat one side of the hair, and that's not going to do it for us. We want to get the hairstyle on both ends and reduce some of that frizz. So you just run our iron through your hair, and you really have to emphasize mostly on the front of your hair, the face framing pieces, not so much the back. So that just takes a few minutes. So I'm going to go through your hair, and I'm just going to run the iron, and honestly, this should not take me more than 3 or 4 minutes max. Take the curling iron, hold it there for about 10 seconds, release. And if you don't want too much volume in there, we're gonna run your finger through it while it's warm, just to kind of soften that curl, and so it's not too bouncy. Wherever I feel like the top, where that's really visual, like this top layer at the back here, it needs it. And then I'm just gonna flip the ends out. So I don't have to do all the hair underneath. It's just sort of the surface pieces to get you that control and styling. And the sections that I'm using, they're about 1 inch wide. So you don't want to use too much hair, because the hair won't get heated through by your iron if you put too much on there. And this type of curling iron is what I use on my 90% of my clients on their hairstyles. And this is what I use to teach in our academy program as well. It's on this tool.
Great.
So you're just finishing the ends.
Kind of reminds me of my time in high school when I was getting my curls done with a curling iron. I haven't used it in a while, so this is great. Like, so much is coming back to me.
Now with hair that's thicker like yours and has some color to it,
Right.
I don't like using too much hairspray
Right.
because with our hair being a little bit damaged from the color, we don't really need a lot of hold. Your hair curls beautifully and doesn't need a lot of product.
So tell me something, because you've got the color as well in your hair.
Yeah.
You can see that clearly I need my roots touched up here.
Yeah.
But I'm deciding not to do that because I've colored my hair for a few years now.
Yeah.
And I find that even though the color product that, you know, the hairdressers used on me has been fantastic, but still at the end of the day, you are putting chemicals into your hair.
Yeah.
So with that said, I am wanting the color to kind of be taken out, but how do I make it look great and still make it look refined and not a mess with the color side of things? Like, what can I do about that if I'm thinking of not touching it up again?
So I'm in the same boat as you.
Okay.
My hair used to be, if anybody follows on social media, a few years ago was quite blonde. And when you repeatedly bleach South
Right.
Asian hair, it
Right.
begins to break.
Right.
So what a good thing to do is go to your stylist and they can put in, I have a transition color. I probably need to get touched up too, but if you take a look, do you see how it's brown?
Right.
And that, like, so it goes from the brown to the blonde.
Right.
And that's gonna help it look a little bit more transitional, and this
Okay.
this is not bleach.
Okay, great.
So it's not gonna damage
So
your
the
hair.
transition color is what I need to do.
Yes.
Okay. I've got the bangs now, so this is exciting, and I think it frames my face really nice. So the curls are soft, they're bouncy, and I'm loving it. So this is awesome. And one more product.
Yeah, so we did the curls, we smoothed everything out, so
Right.
the texture is a little bit like smoother, the ends are
Right,
together.
it is, yeah.
The last thing we're gonna add is Bounce Me by Design Me Hair.
Okay.
And this is really great to put
Bounce
into.
Me, guys.
Bounce you.
This is
yes.
great.
So it's another pomade, and it's a finishing cream.
Okay.
Just gonna rub it on our palms, and we're just gonna go through the ends and along your hairlines to control some of the frizz and give us a little bit of that final finish and control back into the hairstyle. And that's it. Now you are ready for work, date, life, whatever comes next.
This was just so much fun. Now my makeup is looking great, my hair is looking great, and I'm so ready to go out there and just enjoy the day. So thank you so much, Shannon, for working your magic.
You're very welcome.
And I truly, truly appreciated that. And Harp, thank you so much for working your magic with the makeup. So there you go, the dynamic duo. Harp Sohal and Shannon Mann of Pink Orchid Studio. You can look them up. They're on social media. And of course, they're also on their website. So definitely, definitely take a look, you guys. I can't wait to come back and get dolled up again with the hair and makeup for one of my own events. So I really hope you enjoyed the tutorials, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, take care.